An independent panel urges sweeping reforms to Calgary's water main system.
Where risks were not sufficiently identified, escalated, and dealt with at a senior executive level.
So what happens now?
The good, the bad, the ugly, everything that we know about this problem, we need to share with Calgarians.
Plus a devastating theft for a grieving family.
I don't care about any of the other stuff, of course. We just want our mom back.
Robbers steal a box of ashes before her heartbroken children can even hold a funeral. And hitting all the right notes.
I want to bring opera to the people.
Alberta Vocal Arts brings a classic tale to life.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. An independent review of Calgary's most serious water infrastructure failure in decades is calling for urgent and far-reaching reforms, warning that the city's water system remains at risk without major changes. City Council members are now reviewing the details over a special meeting, outlining how to make positive changes for the future. Mark Villani reports.
It's a flood of new information and a damning reality following what's being called decades of government negligence.
The current Bears Paw feeder main is in a state of disrepair.
A new report from an independent review panel says these failures are a result of deferred maintenance and weak risk management. This single line carries up to 60% of Calgary's drinking water. It ruptured in the summer of 2024 and exploded again just 1 week ago. The report says inspections were repeatedly delayed and that an almost identical pipe that burst on McKnight Boulevard in 2004 was a warning sign that went ignored.
To repeatedly do that, from one council to the next, to the next, to the next. That's what gets you into this deficit of investment.
We're going to have to work together to be able to proactively maintain it. Preventative maintenance, this is going to be really key. This means proactive shutdowns in the spring and the fall.
The panel is making urgent recommendations, which include stabilizing the Bears Paw South feeder main line and enhancing monitoring to reduce failures, strengthening emergency preparedness and contingency plans, as well as accelerating construction of a steel pipe parallel to the current main line to eliminate a single point of failure.
This right now is poor governance by this council.
The panel also recommends creating a dedicated water utility with a single executive in charge and establishing an independent oversight board, a measure too costly, according to some council members.
So Calgarians on one hand are demanding that we reduce the number of employees that we are hiring, and yet I have an expert panel demanding that we grow the number of employees.
$3 billion in assets, $1 billion a year in revenue. This is not an inconsequential operation. And so it needs to have a dedicated management team.
And while the report doesn't lay blame to one specific government or individual, Calgary's mayor says accountability now falls on this council.
Calgarians are expecting our council administration to solve this problem for good.
And Mark joins us from City Hall tonight. Mark, Mayor Farkas says he's willing to do whatever it takes to implement these recommendations.
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. And as these discussions evolve, that could include the possibility of dipping into the city's reserve funds. Mayor Farkas says that money is meant for a rainy day and that right now it's pouring. So he's willing to do whatever's needed for vital infrastructure changes. For now, council is just reviewing this report. They're asking questions of the report authors up until about 9 o'clock this evening. The province's infrastructure minister also weighed in today on all of this, telling us that the Alberta government is actively monitoring this situation and still considering whether or not more direct oversight from them is needed for water utilities. Tara.
Okay, Mark, thank you for that. Meantime, the city is taking even more action to curb current water consumption. Stephanie Thomas joins us from Southland Leisure Centre tonight. So, Stephanie, how are rec centres reducing their consumption?
Well, Tara, since this most recent pipe burst, we've all been asked to conserve water consumption, whether that's limiting the number of flushes in our toilets at our homes or keeping our showers short. But now facilities like the one I'm standing in front of, they're making some closures and some changes. Now, steam rooms at the Southland Leisure Centre and among others are closed. Wave pools and water slide hours have been adjusted that will reduce water used in recreation and leisure centres throughout the city of Calgary. Now, Now, the city did not provide many details. The order does not yet address showers at facilities like these, only saying that these changes are expected to be temporary. Now, while some people we spoke with are annoyed they won't have as much access to the facilities and amenities that they love and appreciate, others say the city is making a performative gesture.
It's a bit annoying. I mean, if it's for a good reason, then I get it, but it can be annoying. Like, personally, I like a long shower, so.
It's probably a symbolic gesture, and I don't think that it will change anything in a meaningful way to the quantity of water that's being used.
Still, the city of Calgary says that small steps at the community level like this are going to make a difference in this water crisis. Tara.
Okay, Stephanie, thank you. The man charged by Calgary police in an indecent act investigation is a high-risk offender. 64-year-old Michael Grode, also known as Michael Mann, is charged with 1 count of an indecent act in a public place and 2 counts of indecent exposure to a person under the age of 16. He's accused of exposing himself to a mother and her children in Earlton back on December 4th while he was on a bus and the family was in their car. Grode has a significant history of sexual assault with a weapon, sexual assault, indecent exposure, and indecent phone calls. He's due in court on the latest charges later this month. The ashes of a beloved mother were stolen from a Chestermere home yesterday morning. Her children are pleading with the robbers and the public to help with the safe return. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
Deanna Thompson's mother, Anna Thompson, passed away in December. A hard enough moment to live through, but now the family is dealing with the overwhelming loss of her ashes.
We're devastated. I don't care about any of the other stuff, of course. We just want our mom back.
The ashes were taken during a break-in at her brother's house on Cove Road in Chestermere Tuesday morning. 2 suspects caught on security cameras can be seen entering Joshua's backyard. It was later found his back door was pried open and the precious ashes were gone.
I can't imagine that they did it on purpose. They probably assumed it was something of value because it was in a red velvet bag with a gold tassel. There's no value to them, but it's priceless to us.
Thompson says the stolen iPad's last location ping was in northeast Calgary on McKnight Boulevard and Aviation Boulevard.
We searched the area. We didn't find anything, but it's a large area and it was dark yesterday. We continue to search today, but it's a bit of a needle in a haystack.
She's asking people in Chestermere and Calgary to check their security cameras and see if the ashes might have been abandoned near them.
Her funeral is scheduled for January 17th, and we're desperately hoping that the public will help us find her if they've been discarded somewhere, or if whoever has them, if they still have them, to turn them in somewhere, anywhere. There's information inside the bag that would identify that it's her.
RCMP confirms it's investigating the incident. Anyone with information is asked to contact them or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers.
I don't care about anyone being charged or anything. I just want my mom back.
Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
RCMP say they will likely release more details in the case tomorrow. After updating numbers from previous weeks, the province is now reporting 110 Albertans with the flu have died. More than 2,700 people have been hospitalized since the start of flu season in August. The province says getting vaccinated is the best way to protect yourself from influenza. 21% of Calgarians have received the flu shot. The respiratory virus season is having an impact on hospitals in Alberta. Acute Care Alberta says 5 non-emergency surgeries have been rescheduled across the province due to capacity challenges. Officials say this is not unusual for this time of year, and they have implemented surge and overcapacity protocols across the province. That includes around 330 beds dedicated to respiratory virus season.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
We now know what caused an explosion at the Tabor Arena last month. An investigation found a problem with the Zamboni set off a chain reaction fireball inside the rink. An electric heater ignited propane that was leaking from the Zamboni. It happened December 17th, heavily damaging that rink. A dozen people were inside at the time, but luckily no one was hurt. The town says all the maintenance procedures were followed and no one is at fault.
Not something that's seen often, and it's definitely not something that we've heard of from even the manufacturer.
Damage is one thing, that's easy to deal with, but that can be replaced with people or not. So we're very fortunate, very, very thankful, very, very blessed that that's the end result.
All areas of the community centre, including those that don't appear to be visibly affected, remain closed. Lab testing for hazardous materials is being done before crews can begin to remove any of that debris. A new home for the Calgary Flames is coming together with a big construction year ahead. The big dig at the event centre took up most of the first year of work, but now the structure itself is the main focus. Jordan Canagan has more.
The steel is going up and Scotia Place is taking shape. Construction on the new event centre is about to go into overdrive.
We have poured 1,100 foundation elements. We've created the exterior walls that also form part of that foundation. And now we've been pouring in the last few months, pouring the different concourse levels.
Even from street level, you can tell a lot of progress is being made on this new arena, but it's only when we go way, way up in the air that we can really start to see the scale of this massive project and see the outline of the event center coming together.
I think in a project this size, there are always tight deadlines, but we talk schedule every week. And so there's been no red flags. There's been nothing that is taking us off our target date.
Up to 200 workers are on site every day. Last year saw crews dig the 35-foot deep hole, removing more than 300,000 cubic meters of soil and material. The focus for 2026, finish the steel structure in the roof and close it all up.
So the exterior cladding will follow on the south side, where we can actually start to get more control over our environment, which will be key to our schedule.
Construction will continue through the winter, even in the cold. The event center is still on track to open in the fall of 2027. Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
2026 will see the interior work start on the 3 restaurants, the food hall, and the public gathering areas. Building the event center will take 9,000 metric tons of steel. Well, we're in for a pretty fantastic stretch of weather ahead. Danielle is here now. Let's start with tonight.
Yeah, we're looking at some pleasant weather overall for really the rest of the work week, and then by the weekend, quite toasty. So I'll have your longer range forecast up for you in a little bit, but for now, -1 with a wind chill of -3. We did get to +2 earlier today. And then as we go through these next 24 hours, overnight, a wind chill of about -14, which is where we start off the morning at around 8:30, went off to work and school. So a chilly start to the day, but getting up to a high of at least -1 in the afternoon. Your full forecast just ahead, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Active citizen-led petitions are shaping Alberta right now. But it's also sparking division and accusations of harassment. And we all know 2025 was tough on the pocketbook, why economists think 2026 will be a little better. Are you one of the thousands of Albertans who has signed a citizen-led petition in the last few months? Whether it's an effort to recall an MLA or to weigh in on Alberta's role within Confederation, Albertans are helping shape the political landscape. But it seems to be getting more polarized all the time. Here's Tyson Fedor.
About 300 people seeking Alberta independence were in Water Valley Tuesday.
It's a great moment for Alberta that we are now live gathering signatures to rescue Alberta from the clutches of people in Ottawa.
Jeffrey Rath has been leading the Alberta separation charge. He was the first to sign the petition and needs 177,000 others to make it successful and prompt a referendum on the issue.
I was thrilled to do it. It was certainly my honor to do it. Our goal is to get over 13,000 signatures in every constituency association in the province. And our end goal is that we want to have over 1 million signatures.
But last year, more than 456,000 Albertans signed a petition to keep the province within Canada. It comes as 26 provincial politicians are facing recall notices for policy decisions.
This is a really high bar. This is an election level activity without election level advertising.
Jenny Yeremy is seeking to recall Education Minister Dimitrios Nikolaides. She's planning a signature blitz next week with only 2 weeks left to collect nearly 10,000 more signatures in order to reach the required 16,000. For Molly Metcalf, her recall campaign started after her MLA voted to use the notwithstanding clause against teacher negotiations last fall and has come with its own challenges.
As soon as I first did it, I actually received a threatening email saying that I would be physically harassed and anyone who helped me would be physically harassed, as well as have our information released.
Metcalf says harassment has been constant during the recall effort. RCMP were notified, but currently no active investigation.
Had a fellow come up and actually take pictures. He put his arm over someone who was signing and took a picture of the information, which is highly illegal.
And political experts believe that disagreements have created a barrier between respectful political dialogue.
It's about attacking people rather than debating ideas, and that's quite unfortunate. There's a real danger of an escalation of polarization, divisions.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
The Alberta Independence petition is in Didsbury tonight, seeking signatures leading up to a large rally planned at the BMO Centre later this month. If you're exhausted after all of the economic ups and downs of 2025, some good news. Experts predict 2026 should be a bit more stable. Economists believe Canada is ready to weather any international uncertainty. But as Tim Brooke explains, that could change in a hurry.
Economic forecasting is a tough industry to be in these days.
Currently, all indications are that 2026 is going to be a stronger year than 2025. But, it's all contingent on U.S. policy changes.
2025 was chaotic economically. That's largely thanks to tariffs and international conflict. But Canada made it out. We avoided a recession and even grew slightly in the latter part of the year. A good sign heading into 2026.
We think inflation is probably going to remain very close to the Bank of Canada's 2% target. And against that backdrop, we think that the bank will be able to maintain its policy rate at 2.25%. The lower rate, of course, does make borrowing more attractive.
New reporting from Deloitte predicts more resilience ahead and a strong second half of the year. But that could still change.
We're seeing energy prices reach levels that we haven't seen since 5 years ago. And that's going to be a potential drag for this province and especially for our government's finances.
Don't expect the brunt of energy policy changes in Venezuela to hit Alberta for a few years. But short-term, low oil prices will lead to a tough provincial budget, which historically hasn't helped consumer confidence.
Groceries are high, rent is high, so it's pretty tough, right, for people.
Advisors do have some advice. As gold prices soar, they say diversification really is the name of the game.
Precious metals are in higher demand for alternative sources of good stores of value. And in certain cases, Bitcoin has been grouped into that bucket as well.
Tim joins us now. Tim, economists will be watching the American administration very closely.
Tara, that all begins this year with the next round of CUSMA negotiations. Now, as you mentioned, people here will be watching closely, especially those in the auto, steel, or aluminum industries. They'll be watching to see what kind of deals Canada can strike in those negotiations. Together, those three sectors paid out approximately 75% of all tariffs collected by the U.S. from Canada. So no doubt there's a giant horse in the race here, Tara, and they'll be keeping a close eye on those negotiations this spring.
Okay, Tim Brooke reporting. Tim, thank you.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Some very mild weather is coming our way.
This is one of those weeks where you make as many plans as you can to be outdoors and enjoy all that comes with it. You know what? We're looking at mild temperatures for the work week, and then by the weekend, the plus double digits. So this is a longer stretch of warmer air that we're looking at, and mainly that Chinook pattern will be in place, and it has been in place today as well. In Calgary, we got up to +2. We're now sitting at -1 at the moment. -1 as well in Lethbridge, -11 in Brooks, so quite significantly cooler in the Brooks area, being cut off from the winds, and -2 in Pincher Creek. So overall, fairly mild temperatures. We've had some decent wind gusts further south of Calgary in those 60s for Pincher Creek in through Lethbridge. Similar idea for tomorrow. Calgary, we got close to 40, and Medicine Hat in those mid-50s. So fast forward to tomorrow, and here's what you can expect with regards to the wind. 70 kilometre per hour gusts in this corridor here, Crozes past Pincher Creek over to the Lethbridge area. 40 for Calgary, Cranbrook, Drumheller, Brooks, and then around that 50 mark for Medicine Hat once again. Other than the winds tomorrow, it's fairly quiet except for later in the day. Around the evening hours is when we get a little burst of snowfall. Nothing significant, but you will see some snowflakes out there in many communities. Nothing going on at the moment. Let me fast forward, though, till tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're looking at sunshine with some cloudy periods at times throughout the day. And then there you go, 7:30 p.m. We'll get a couple flurries just burst on in here. So basically anywhere from Innisfail down through Calgary, down along Highway 2 in the evening hours, and even making its way into Lethbridge. It shouldn't be anything that you have to shovel, nothing significant, just a light dusting and isolated. So some communities will see it and a couple streets up may not see any of it at all. All right, your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. Yes, this is a mild one. -1 for tomorrow with flurries in the evening hours again. And then +1 for Friday. And then we get into a real warming trend here where it's pretty significant and well above normal and getting into those double digits. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and let me just fast forward to the 10-day trend to show you, because from Saturday to Wednesday of next week, our daytime highs will be around that 9-10 degree mark, well above the normal of -3. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. There is uproar after an ICE agent fatally shoots a woman in Minneapolis. A shocking video and the mayor's calls for compassion during the immigration crackdown. Plus the impact to Alberta businesses nearly a year after Donald Trump started talking tariffs. Tensions are high in Minneapolis tonight, where a woman was killed by an ICE agent today. As investigators work the scene to determine exactly what happened, the shooting and the footage emerging is fueling anger. I want to warn you, this story does contain some graphic content. Here's CTV's Allison Hurst.
Anger is boiling over on the streets of Minneapolis amid a dramatic escalation during immigration enforcement operations in that city.
I heard 2 gunshots and a car crash, a really hard car crash, and then I heard yelling.
Footage shows ICE agents walking up to an SUV, one trying to open the driver's door. No! When the vehicle pulls forward, another agent fires the fatal shots, killing a 37-year-old woman.
The one guy said that they reached for her door handle and then she took off and then he shot her through the windshield and shot her in the face.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem described the incident as an act of domestic terrorism carried out against ICE officers.
What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle.
But local and state representatives reject that description, with Governor Tim Walz posting on social media, "I've seen the video, don't believe this propaganda machine."
What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying.
The Twin Cities have been on edge since the Department of Homeland Security announced Tuesday that it had launched the operation, which is at least partly tied to allegations of fraud involving Somali residents. Noem says they've deployed more than 2,000 officers and have made hundreds of arrests. Mayor Jacob Frey has this message to ICE.
To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
As the streets fill with angry citizens, the governor is calling for calm, saying protesting is a patriotic duty, but that it must be done peacefully.
The U.S. seized 2 oil tankers linked to Venezuela in back-to-back actions. Dramatic pictures posted by the Trump administration show the U.S. Coast Guard boarding a now Russian-flagged oil tanker after chasing it in the North Atlantic for 2 weeks. Another vessel was captured in the Caribbean. U.S. forces are seen rappelling onto the deck of an empty vessel called the Sophia. Both ships are accused of violating U.S. sanctions after the Trump administration ordered a blockade of Venezuelan oil. Political leaders from Alberta and Ottawa have just announced more trips to try to develop new trade relationships, nearly 1 year after the United States president first mentioned sweeping tariffs. Alicia Fieldberg reports on how some businesses are coping with the trade-related turbulence.
This Calgary cafe owner says tariffs and trade wars in 2025 served up new challenges for his business.
It has impacted a lot of ingredients that we rely on, from specialty syrup, tea, cups, lids, and even equipment part. The cost will slowly increase, the margin gets thinner, delivery time gets longer.
Last January, at the inauguration of the United States president, Donald Trump first announced the potential for tariffs. Some eventually began. So did trade wars and economic uncertainty, sparking a scramble for Canada to secure other trade partners. Mark Carney is headed to China next week, the first Canadian prime minister to do so after nearly a decade of tension.
The two countries won't see eye to eye on everything, but there are some common and shared interests.
Alberta has fared better than many parts of the country, with its main industry, oil and gas, so far shielded from tariffs.
There are certainly challenges ahead, many of which are out of our control, and so we're focusing on what we can do right here in Alberta.
The province is pressing for quick action on the Memorandum of Understanding to get more oil and gas to the West Coast, and has more trade missions planned.
Looking for buyers for Alberta manufactured products. Defense spending is a big conversation happening, and I believe Alberta is a fantastic jurisdiction for defense manufacturing, and so we're going to continue to press that message on the world stage.
For Canadian consumers, tariff-related pressures increased some costs and influenced spending trends, including a steep drop in travel to the United States.
That is massive. That 30% reduction is really driven by people choosing to not spend their dollars in the United States and choosing to either stay at home or vacation somewhere in Canada.
Business owners are also sending a message with where they spend their dollars.
It pushes us to work harder to source local when possible. And I keep my eyes on news to see what we can do, what is the opportunities for us to tackle those challenges.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, who says cleaning up after the holidays can't be just a little entertaining? At least we think this cat's having a good time on its vacuum-powered pirate ship. Your trending videos are next. It's difficult to start a holiday tradition, but that's what Alberta Vocal Arts has been trying to do for the last 3 years. It's again hosting a whimsical operetta that premiered in Vienna in 1874, with the hopes of introducing more Calgarians to the genre. Kevin Fleming reports.
It's an operetta that was written by Johann Strauss more than 150 years ago. Now the songs are being sung in German and the dialogue in English. Like all the performers here, Aaron Durand is back for a third year and is used to speaking a variety of languages on stage.
You get German, you get French, you get Italian, especially Italian, you get Czech, I've done Russian, even a little bit of Mandarin.
Jason Cook says the opera community in Canada is relatively small, and performing here is a chance to shine.
It's always this kind of Star Search moment where you hope that someone's going to be in the audience and they're going to come up to you after the show and they say, here's my card. That's always the hope and the goal. But ultimately, we want to come here and we just, at the end of the day, we just want to make art. We want to have fun.
Kathleen Morrison heads Alberta Vocal Arts and says Deflator Mouse is a New Year's tradition in parts of Europe. She says opera can be intimidating to the uninitiated, but the cast makes it easy to understand.
We do a pre-show chat beforehand, so we tell you what to listen for. We tell you what's going to happen. We tell you what you're going to see. We're going to tell you what all the players are involved, what they're doing.
Carlos Foggin is the music director and says when this was written, operettas were the Netflix of the time.
My job is to make sure that Strauss doesn't get lost in the conversation, that we still remain faithful to his vision and his score, and that what comes across is still Strauss and not something else.
The production changes slightly every year to keep it fresh for the audience.
Best way to start off a new year, surely. It's so fun. We're able to play off each other in some incredible ways, purely because we know each other so well.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
So the show runs January 8th to 10th. Ticket prices are just $30. We've posted more information about the production on our website. All right, let's see what's trending tonight. I bet a lot of people got a Roomba for Christmas.
I wish.
Not everybody uses them to vacuum, though.
It's Christmas time on the pirate ship. The pirate ship. The pirate ship. It's Christmas time on the pirate ship.
Good for more than just cleaning up the room. Just ask Robin the Orange Tabby. He's got his own private vessel to get around the house, powered by 2 Roombas, in fact.
I know, right? Ooh, looks like
That's
they're having
smart.
fun there.
He doesn't seem to mind. Well, a romantic sky-high proposal did not go as planned. All right, this is Trevor Van Camp. He got down, popped the question, and then
my goodness.
Oh. This wouldn't normally be a problem, except he and his girlfriend were 120 feet in the air. They were at a mountain resort on a sky bridge. So the ring dropped into the snow below. They spent hours looking for it. It was actually an employee who eventually recovered it using a metal detector.
Seriously?
Yes, hours later.
That is so
he found
great.
it.
It's amazing.
That is incredible.
Lucky for them.
And what a story.
Yeah. It's a good engagement story, actually.
We'll talk about that one for a long time.
Well, finally, a little girl with some very unique bedtime buddies. Okay, so most little ones take stuffies to bed. Not this 4-year-old. She has other favorites she likes to sleep with. There's a skeleton, her softball helmet, dental floss one time, a skeleton mask. She's obviously fearless. I mean, there's no need for teddy bears.
Nope.
Interesting what they collect each day.
Yes. And what's important to them.
Bet she loves Halloween.
I bet she does. Yeah, the skeleton gave it away.
I had to do that once, take a football helmet off my son when he's fully asleep.
Yeah.
It was really on there.
Yeah.
You know?
Very cute. Well, another viral video is sparking safety concerns for flyers. WestJet now under fire for a new seating layout, and some people wondering, could you actually evacuate quickly with that lack of legroom?
Skywatch weather camera, beautiful evening. We have some mild temperatures for this week, absolutely. And then, in fact, by the weekend, hopefully you can get outdoors and really enjoy it because it's going to be very warm for this time of year. -1 is that current temperature. Today's high has been 2 degrees and then normal is -3. So we're well above normal today. We'll be closer to normal for tomorrow. We're still going to get those winds out of the west, but it won't kick up the temperatures as much as it has been for the past couple of days. All right, 2 degrees was our high again for Calgary, 7 for Victoria, 5 for Vancouver, and then out east, 3 in Toronto, 0 Montreal, Fredericton, and St. John's. All right, looking at tomorrow's wind gusts, 70 kilometers per hour in that corridor from Lethbridge over to Pincher Creek, Crow's Nest Pass area. Calgary, we're looking at 40 kilometer per hour gusts, along with the Cranbrook area, Drumheller, Brooks, and up to about 50 in Medicine Hat. This will predominantly be out of the west, so it will keep our temperatures mild. You can also see the snow on the BC side. We're going to get a little bit of that track in tomorrow evening into the city. Nothing significant, just a light dusting. Your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free. All right, with tomorrow morning with the wind chill -15. So cool start to the day, but in the afternoon -1 and a wind chill of about -6 with a mix of sun and cloud. Let's take a quick look around, and 2 degrees in Salmon Arm, -2 for Golden and Fernie with some snowfall. Red Deer looking at a high of -6 for tomorrow. And the further south you go, the warmer it gets, as you can see. Olds -4, High River 0. Medicine Hat at that freezing mark as well. Lethbridge, Pincher Creek, again, gusts around 70 kilometers per hour. All these communities likely to see some flurries in the evening hours. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. An independent panel is urging sweeping reforms to Calgary's water main system. The panel's report says the city did not act on long-standing warnings about the state of the Bearspaw feeder main and other water lines across Calgary. Water is temporarily shut off to the Shane Homes West Soccer Dome during water main repairs. The facility has emergency water wagons and porta potties outside now. Teams are advised to arrive dressed and ready to play with full water bottles. And a Chestermere family is pleading for the return of their mother's ashes. The box containing her remains was stolen during a break-in yesterday. Safety concerns are taking off after a viral video showed WestJet passengers struggling to fit into their seats. It's the second time within a month the airline has faced backlash over its reconfigured seating. As Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, it's prompting calls for new regulations.
Dad, could you just straighten out your legs there?
Impossible. A cramped cabin experience for an Edmonton area family is causing concerns for comfort and safety on board. The reconfigured seats were installed in a couple dozen WestJet planes last fall.
The only time you really get to understand how seat pitch works is when you have to experience it yourself.
The squishy situation is putting passengers in a tight spot for safety.
My concern is basically getting out of that seat in a packed airplane with an emergency evacuation.
They're forcing you to upgrade, basically, if you want to be able to safely fit in your seat.
Transport Canada is responsible for aviation safety. Right now, it does not regulate how much space is required between rows of seats. Aviation expert John Graddick says the issue goes beyond passengers, as it also impacts flight attendants who have to complete safety checks.
If your knees and legs and thighs basically are covering up that space, how is a flight attendant going to see where your carry-on baggage is safely stowed or not?
The union representing WestJet cabin personnel tells CTV News in part, flight attendants are concerned about the impact that increasingly confined cabin spaces may have on safety, both for passengers and for the crew responsible for conducting required safety and security checks on board. The union also says the airline made the decision without consulting or engaging with cabin crews, even after it raised concerns.
Transport Canada has not really addressed this thing publicly. They may have done it privately with WestJet, but I think that the Transport Canada should have a public statement.
Graddick says in a competitive industry, it's likely other airlines could shrink seat room if Transport Canada doesn't act. CTV News reached out to WestJet multiple times and has not heard back. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
3 out of 10 offices in downtown Calgary are vacant. That's according to a report from CBRE. The report says office vacancy downtown rose to 30.4% in the fourth quarter of last year. It also says some of the city's vacant offices were absorbed by conversions to residential properties. Among Canadian cities, the market softened the most in Calgary and Ottawa. There are some bright spots in the Calgary market. Vacancy in the industrial sector is just 5%. That's the lowest it's been since 2023. Washington is taking no time taking control of the oil industry in Venezuela, and that poses a risk to Canada's industry. Here's BNN Bloomberg's Marla Fernandez.
The U.S. now says it will control Venezuela's oil industry indefinitely. Washington also says it is importing over $2 billion worth of oil from Venezuela. The barrels of heavy crude will be refined in the U.S. The news sent the global price of oil down today, but Canadian crude has been slipping all week, with concerns that the heavy, sour crude Venezuela will export will compete with similar Canadian product. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 72.16. West Texas Intermediate is down to 56.32. Western Canadian Select down over $1 to 43.05. And the TSX lost 271 points today, but remains above 32,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marla Fernandez.
Feels like we're just starting to defrost in Calgary, but farmers out in Bruderheim, northeast of Edmonton, are digging out their grain bags buried under several feet of snow. Canola and wheat farmer Neil White says it's taken him and a few others around 6 hours of shoveling just to find his bag. He's now helping neighboring farms find theirs. Once they are found, wildlife becomes the biggest concern.
It's like a road in there. The animals going in, they're walking on top. The coyotes make a hole and they burrow in for the night. It's nice and warm in there. And now there's birds, so now the deer are standing right on top and they're poking holes.
That heavy snowfall does have a silver lining, though. White says it's promising moisture in the coming months for when seeding takes place. The NFL's gain is the Stampeders' loss. Coming up, Glenn has more on some players heading stateside.
Hasn't been that much snow here since 5 years. I have not seen Montmartre that white.
People in Paris were spotted skiing in front of the Eiffel Tower today after a powerful winter storm swept through parts of Europe. In Hungary, lakes froze over, creating some remarkable swirling patterns on the ice. Heavy snow and strong wind is still in the forecast. The Calgary Flames begin a 5-game road trip tonight. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, the Flames are trying to get back to their winning ways.
Tara, the Flames played really well in November and December, but they've started off January with a pair of losses. William Strongram making his Flames debut tonight in Montreal, wearing number 65. And how's this for a welcome into the NHL? Not one hit, but two. But he gets back up and gets right out of there. Good stuff. All right, Canadians, good chance to open up the scoring here. Cole Caulfield, he takes the big shot, but Dustin Wolf there to make the save. Flames take it back the other way now. Morgan Frost, demoted to the fourth line, just flips it in, but Jacob Fowler had to be careful on that one. Still no score in the game. Wolf, he was on top of his game in the first period. Brendan Gallagher all alone in front, but Wolf denies him Habs, the better team in the first period. Now the Flames get a good chance a little later in the first. Joel Farabee busts to the net, but he can't beat Fowler, so no score after one. The Habs finally get to Wolf in the second. Alexandre Texier side of the net, and he fires this one past Wolf. 1-0 there. It is now 3-0, I believe, for the Habs. Yeah, tough one for the game. Some sad news tonight. Hall of Fame goaltender Glenn Hall has passed away at the age of 94. He starred for the Wings, Hawks, and Blues and was a goaltending coach with the Flames when they won their Stanley Cup in 1989. Also won a pair of cups as a goaltender. Rest in peace, Mr. Goalie. Still with hockey, the Calgary Hitmen pulled off a trade today, acquiring Blake Vanek from the Wenatchee Wild, for Carter Ernst and a 6th-round pick in the 2029 WHL draft. The name Vanek may sound familiar to you. He is the son of Thomas, who played several years in the NHL. Calgary Stampeders took a big hit today. The Stamps lost 3 players to the NFL. That's life in the CFL offseason. The Stamps took a double blow on defense. Jalen Hutchings and Jacob Roberts signed with the Minnesota Vikings. Those two going to be very hard to replace on the defensive side of the ball. And receiver Damian Alford, he was also taking another shot in the NFL. He is signed with the New Orleans Saints. That's a tough day for the Stampeders. Tough losses indeed.
Shows how many good players we had, though.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Glenn. Let's take our final peek at the forecast. It's a beauty.
It is a beauty. I mean, take advantage of this all that you can. If you like the warmer temperatures, that's on the weekend and next week, but it's a long stretch of it. -1 is our high for tomorrow. Keep in mind for the rest of the work week, you're still looking at chilly starts to the day. So in the morning when off to work and school, you know, you'll feel some cold. All right, tomorrow's pretty quiet, except we're looking at flurries kicking in around 7:30 p.m. Nothing significant, but you'll see a couple snowflakes. And then a mix of sun and cloud really Friday and through the weekend. We'll get into the double digits for Saturday, and then Saturday through Wednesday of next week, our daytime highs will range between 9 and 10, which is quite toasty for this time of year. So enjoy that. All right, Weather Window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors. Crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. And Patrick Wassel sent this one in. He took this, I believe, yesterday near UFC. A stunning photo once again. If you were able to get out and see this, hopefully you were, because it was so pretty. And now we're getting into maybe not as pretty, a little more slushy, but a little easier on the body.
We should ask Patrick to go back there 5 days from now, take the exact same picture and see how much snow we've lost.
Yes, please, Patrick.
Thanks for your company tonight. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.